Hey Ethan, this is Jeff doing your technical video voiceover. We're going to watch your strokes, just let it play here for a second, then we'll go back and look at them each slow-mo and see if there's anything we can be doing better. I kind of soiled this video a little bit, talking about going and getting the ball earlier, and you took it a little too literal here. But it's a good problem, and I think we can still see some of the same things. You're certainly much closer, and eventually you want to get away from the technique and get into stuff like we did at our lesson today on May 15th, 2018, where I'm just hitting the ball hard at you, trying to get you accustomed to a bigger ball and those tough love lessons. But I don't think it's perfect. I definitely think there's some things we still need to look at. But instead of being major surgery, now they are just Band-Aids. But don't get away from strokes yet. Keep your mind in the right spot. In the end, it's the little things. It's the fundamentals that are going to make the difference. The better you get, the smaller the things that make a difference become. So understanding proper tactics. Can you hit a ball hard, consistently, deep? How much time does your stroke require? How long before you get set up that you can hit a ball versus your opponent? And we're talking less than seconds. We're talking quarters of a second, hundredths, tenths of a second that make the difference at high-level tennis. So we'll do this voiceover portion, Ethan, and then I'll go out on court and I'll demonstrate a little better what it is I mean on each stroke. Watch it a couple times. Take notes. Have an off-court shadow swing routine. Don't just watch it once and then let it go away. Become a student of your own game. All right, let's go back and take a look at the forehand, Ethan, from the back. Now, it's funny, interesting today, you did really good working on that eye dominance issue. A lot of times people that don't like to turn their body enough and let this racket get a little too far back behind them, their right eye is dominant. So you don't like looking at the ball through your left eye, so you'll struggle to turn your body. And you worked on that good today. But regardless, this elbow is just stuck too far behind you. This swing is back too behind you. But I do think you're coiling your body well as well. So it's all about how far below the ball do you get. And I'd like to see this racket drop much further. Because you didn't really turn your body enough, Ethan, you're too open at contact. And there's a little scoop there under the ball. But it interests me that you kind of uncoil a little early into the ball. I'd like to see that racket drop much longer. Okay, watch the backswing here. It's a little extra motion there. Again, little thing that's going to be a big thing. And you just uncoil a little too early, Ethan. I'd like to see you drop down lower below that ball. See your racket face turn at the hit here. And just because you hit the bottom of the racket, it turns the racket face over. It's definitely close. It's not too far off. Yeah, we just don't want that racket to pull back from behind you like that, Ethan. That's going to just help keep everything in sync. It's going to help your racket get lower. This is going to help that swing stay more inside out rather than pulling so quick. Like right here, I'd like to see this elbow lifting up and those strings still extending out to the target. But your shoulder gets a little tight and you just pull to the right a little bit too much. Let's see what it looks like from the side here. Yeah, you definitely want your eyes down at the hit. Great lifting. And this is just pretty consistent, Ethan, where we see your racket go kind of up at the hit and your elbow pinched to your ear. So even when you're going here trying to hit the ball earlier, you're still hitting it too close to your body. And here you're uncoiled a little too early. It's pretty good though. I'll talk to you about how that kinetic change should work, Ethan. Okay, backhand. You really want to define this turn position, Ethan. Right arm should be straight, grip should be over, racket head should be up, left elbow should be slightly raised. And you don't want to see this left arm pull the racket to the right like this, and your right arm never really leaves your body there. So we'd like the tip of your racket to still be pointing to the left at this point, and you still be extending out to the target. You don't want to have this right arm glued to your body when you hit backhands. Not bad. Looks pretty good. But again, I see the same thing, Ethan, with the body opening up early. The kinetic chain. This is a little better here. I'll talk to you about that more on court, but yeah, just try to extend both arms out longer to the target and work on that turn position. Just not far enough below this ball. And then you see how those strings kind of pull around this way. That's where that left-handed forehand drill will really help you out, doing the left-handed forehands. It's not bad. Like even that one looked great if I let it play, but if you slow down here, Ethan, in your contact, your racket's not low and closed enough. Nice hit there, but if you're a little early, you're missing it. So you rolled over. You don't want this look on your backhand. You want both arms out and extended. And again, that might be because of your body opening up too early. It's kind of muscling it a little bit too much. Okay, slice I'll just let play. Your brother first day as well. It's no big deal. Want your grip over a little further. Same arm position though as the two-handed backhand, Ethan. You want this arm straight. You want that curl in the more in the top of the wrist actually. You're kind of just hitting it with a bent arm, bent wrist. And then when you're done, you don't want your racket to pull to court 2 like that. You want it to stay going out to court 1. Longer anyway. But your slice will help you with your topspin, help you with your volley. It's all the same principles. But we'll keep working on the slice. But see how this arm is bent and your wrist is bent here? It's the same issue as your backhand. You like to hit from these joints. You got to learn to hit from this joint, your shoulder. But first time on the slice, not too bad. Okay, forehand volley. Looks pretty good. Just want to keep an eye on that racket head there, Ethan. I think your grip needs to be a little more advanced. You're not close enough to that composite Eastern continental grip we like. Ooh, that's very clean, Ethan. That's a good looking volley right there. That's what we're looking for, buddy. And it wasn't even topspin. You had just a little, opened your racket face a little bit. You took a little pace off it with some backspin. That's good. Let's just get that grip going a little better because, again, at high levels, if it comes to your backhand right now, you're not going to have time to make that significant of a change. So I'd like to see you turn your, and when you make that grip change, you're going to have to turn your body more. But that looks great, Ethan. That's a great stroke. Are you using it? Backhand volley. Make sure you're stepping forward to go intercept it. Don't let it come into you. Yeah, you're a little too far back on the backswing, trying to time it coming in. Less backswing and then more forward momentum. But as far as your swing, how you finish out, love how your head's down, love how the position, the wrists stay fixed, racket head still above the wrist. And your body in the swing needs to start later and hit it earlier, and the body needs to step out. But this is the tough part, is that swing, and you got that. You got the idea, buddy. All right, the serve. That was a nice spin serve. Love that you guys start with spin serves, then go to slice, and then go to flat later. Yeah, you got it. I just worry about how much this wrist moves so early, Ethan. Your wrist just has too much motion in there. Remember, it's not the wrist, it's the whole forearm. I don't want you to hurt yourself trying to snap your wrist that doesn't have any muscles in it, just ligaments and joints. I mean, your wrist can't do anything, even if it wanted to. Now, if you're loose, it might move. But we don't want that much wrist motion in your serve motion. It's best to think of the tip of the racket to the elbow as one piece, and it all pronates out together. And that was just a little bit of the old body position. You just let it drop a little too low. That's kind of better as far as arm position, but your body should be up more. And remember, it's compression and spin. You don't want to just chop, swing straight to this door and spin it only. you got to go through it and up. Just like your forehand, you go through it and up. You don't just go straight up. This is pretty good. Just remember, it's not the wrist, it's the forearm. And then get that elbow going forward for your compression, and then the pronating is for the spin. Now back here, be a little looser with that arm. I remember the couple times that I grabbed your racket out of your hand, how tight your arm was. One thing that'll help you get more compression too, Ethan, is getting that toss further out in front. You don't have to take your tossing arm back quite so far, Ethan. This is a little too far. It just has to come parallel with the baseline. Now your knees and hips can actually turn in more, but this tossing arm doesn't have to come back so far. Just right here with the baseline, because then you're going to be able to get your toss out in front where it should be. But you're close. You're close. Hang in there with it. All right, we'll go out on court now, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, Ethan Phelps, here we go. Forehand ground stroke, buddy. From the ready position, unit turn. You got to get more in this position. Stay on your back leg longer. Let the racket drop lower. So rather than your body opening up early and then picking it up from behind you, let the body drop together, swing inside out. And I don't want your racket to come up like this as you hit. It should go out through the ball, and then you catch it over here. But remember that eye dominance issue. You want to see the ball through your left eye, have this look. If you don't like seeing it through your left eye, you're going to turn like this, and you're not going to get enough body turn, and that'll also contribute to you being too open at the hit. So do some exercises where you close your right eye and just hit with your left eye open, and you're going to get more comfortable getting out of the way to the side of the ball. Your body's going to be in a better position at the hit. That's it on the forehand. Work on your turn, get lower, stay coiled longer, and then go out through the ball a little further. So rather than opening up early, picking it up behind you, okay? Similar issues on the backhand ground stroke, Ethan. Now we know you had this kind of look on your turn. Your wrist was bent, your arm was bent. We want to get you in this position on the turn, on the volley as well. Backhand volley, or slice backhand, topspin backhand. Okay, stronger position. And then same thing, feel that racket drop lower, Ethan. Get it way below the ball and closed. And then you got to get those strings to go inside out before you relax around, rather than getting to here and then letting that left arm take over to here. So it should look like this, not like this. Okay, so ready position, but get that turn, get that grip over, this arm straighter, and then down longer, stay turned, then inside out. Finish with both armpits open. Forehand volley, Ethan. Just get that grip a little more advanced. You're a little too far over. When you play high-level tennis, it comes to your backhand. You're not going to have time to get such a far grip change in. So just turn. So you just want between number 3 and 2, between your forehand and your backhand grip. Other than that, super clean. Now when you make that grip change, you're going to have to get your body a little more turned when you hit. But other than that grip, Ethan, that volley looked world class, looked great. Same on the backhand volley. Get the grip over, out in front. Watch that backswing. Go intercept it from your shoulder. Don't let it come into you and try to hit it behind you. You want to go intercept that volley on the backhand side. But again, you had a great look with your arms, just your body was kind of not going forward. And that's because you had too much backswing. No backswing, but you can follow through on it. Just to go back once, Ethan, your backhand underspin. Same position with the arm, really turn. This is where learning to use your body is really important, Ethan. Separate the hands at the hit, high, low, high. You're going to finish out this way, not across the baseline in this direction. You're going to finish out to the target and up. Okay, serve, Ethan. Here's where you do want the curl on the inside of the wrist, with the wrist slightly bent here. You're going to pick it up over your head this way, throw that racket around to the side. That's what gets it going forward for your compression. and then pronate this forearm for spin. But don't get here and try to pronate with the wrist. You're going to hurt yourself that way, plus it's not going to help you because it doesn't really accelerate that much faster. After you hit, if you're loose, the wrist could start to move, but you're really trying to do it with the wrist rather than doing it with the arm and then letting the wrist relax out. Remember, don't bring your left arm back so far. Just bring your left arm to here. So if you look from the side, my left arm comes parallel with this line, parallel with you. It's really hard to get it out in front if you turn so far and throw it this way. So just parallel here, rack it back with the knuckles up. From there, just let it rip. Out in front, pronate to the right. So that's a few things you can do. Let me know if you have any questions. Great job so far. Let's get the last of these fundamentals cleared up so we can start moving on to some new things. Thanks for your time, Ethan.